Well, I bet you're wondering what we're doing out here. We're in southwestern Wyoming, and we are hunting for fossil fish. This stuff right here with our buddy Matt Heaton out at the Fossil Lake Safari Quarry. Matt, thank you so much for having us out.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Okay, so we're hammering on rock. We've got a fossil fish. How does this fossil fish get here? And why? Because I don't see a lake, but you know, it's Fossil Lake Safari. Where's the lake?
So the lake disappeared over 50 million years ago. About 52 million years ago, this was a lake called Fossil Lake. It was in a warm environment, probably similar to the Gulf states are now. So there was crocodiles and turtles and big fish and all kinds of animals surrounding this lake.
Okay.
It covered about 1,500 square miles, and this particular quarry is near the lake shore. So there was actually some rivers coming into the lake pretty near here. And what you're seeing here is what was deposited at the lake bottom over millions of years.
So Matt, what exactly are we looking at here? Because I mean, you know, like I said, I don't see much of a lake. I mean, I see, you know, this epic landscape. So first off, where are we in southwestern Wyoming?
So we're about 20 minutes outside the town of Kemmerer, and what we're looking at over this hillside is the backside of Fossil Butte, which is part of the Fossil Butte National Monument.
Okay, so you're right adjacent to the Fossil Butte National Monument.
Yeah, we're on the backside of it.
Now that's a monument that's set aside to save a specific section of this entire formation, the Green River Formation, correct?
Yes.
So let's get into the life. All right, so what period is this?
This is Eocene period, so approximately 52 million years old.
Okay, oh gosh, so this is right after the dinosaurs?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons the fossils from this lake are so important, is particularly the birds and the mammals. That shows you where the birds and the mammals are evolving after the dinosaurs went extinct.
So let me ask you this. So right after the dinosaurs go extinct, are there any really good places to get quality fossils this close to that extinction timeline, or is this it?
This is probably one of the premier fossil sites in the world, and the reason why is there's so many articulated vertebrates. Most places where you find vertebrate fossils are broken up, you find teeth, you find individual bones, but you don't find the animals fully articulated. And the reason why the preservation is so good here is the bottom of the lake had a thin layer of salt water on it, which created a low oxygen environment.
Okay.
And so the animals at the bottom of the lake didn't decompose, scavengers couldn't get to them, and they slowly got covered up over years by very fine sediment.
You're kidding. I had no idea there was this salt layer at the bottom of the lake. That's crazy. That explains why there's so many fossils, why there's just an abundance of fossils here. Why just about every time you split a rock, boom, there's a fossil.
Yeah, in most lake beds, you know, if a fish dies and floats down to the bottom, it's going to get eaten and torn apart.
Yeah, it's eaten, it's torn apart, it's scattered, which sometimes you see that, but almost all of the fish that you find are in perfect condition.
Yes.
So what was the landscape like? So the comet came, destroyed all the dinosaurs, Earth is kind of rebounding. This is that first period where Earth is really rebounding. What does the Earth look like at this time?
So this particular area, this would have been like the Gulf states, Florida or Costa Rica or something like that.
Tropical.
Fairly tropical, kind of a warm climate. You had palms, you had crocodiles, you had turtles, you had tapirs and rhinos surrounding the lake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what kind of, all right, so we've got this tropical environment. What is it that the fossils show us about life during that time? What all kind of species are you finding here?
Being a lake, the vast majority of what you find is fossil fish. But because this quarry is so close to the shore, We occasionally find birds and mammals and things that died at the lake edge or got washed into the lake.
Oh, that's so
Yep.
cool. So you found birds and little mammals and stuff like
Yeah,
that too?
we found several mammals this year already.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding. Dude, that's awesome.
Yep, they're currently they're being researched. They may turn out to be something new. They're definitely something new to this lake system that's never been described from this lake system.
You're kidding. That's so epic.
Yeah.
You're finding stuff new to science here at this quarry.
Oh yeah, I think this quarry has produced about 13 holotypes so far of new animals.
So and just a holotype is
The first what that animal has been described off of.
okay. So
It's
the
usually
very
the first one
one
found.
Wow.
And most of those new holotypes have been birds. There's been around 30 different species of birds described from this lake.
So when you come across something like that rare, that's obviously important to science, what do you do with that?
We want to make sure that do everything we can to get it into a museum, get it into an institution where it can be studied.
Dude, that's so awesome. I mean, seriously, that's a great thing you guys are doing. And it's a great thing, not only for our knowledge and understanding of life in the Eocene, but, also for the public as well, because, the public gets to come out, they get to be a part of, this discovery. And then when you find something that's important to science, you make sure that it gets to science. So that's a win-win. That's awesome.
Yeah, this place is amazing. Particularly families come down here. It's a great family activity. Kids get so excited when they open up a rock and find this fossil fish there, and it kind of sparks the excitement figuring out why it's here.
Yeah.
It gets them learning about this.
Well, let's do this. Let's check out your setup. Show us what you got here. Show us your operation.
Okay.
All right, so Matt, we just arrived. Show us your setup. So what do we do? How do we get out in that rock quarry? What kind of tools are we using? What's your setup like?
Okay, we'll go through the process. First, let's get you checked in here.
Okay, all right. So when people arrive, this is the first building that they come to the check-in?
Yeah, first thing they come through is check-in, sign the kind of standard liability waiver here.
Okay. Now, why do you have people sign a liability waiver?
So the liability waiver, it's kind of a standard legal thing. It just says if you hurt yourself that it's your responsibility.
Okay. Yep. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just like in every place. Okay.
Yeah, this is a pretty safe activity as long as you follow some basic rules. We have, restricted areas which are restricted for a reason. We don't want people going near the unstable rock wall.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you've got where people are working is really in a big central open area where they're far away from anything that could be.
Yeah, we pull down the rock from the wall, we lay it out in rows where they can split it. They don't have a rock wall over their head or anything like that.
Yeah. So all right, after we sign the waiver, what's our next step?
So after you sign the waiver, you get your, we'll hand you tools and the tools of the trade here.
All right, so what kind of tools do we have?
Thin splitting chisel, they like to refer to as Green River chisels, which are specially made for splitting this stone efficiently.
So this tool is specifically made just for splitting rock in this formation?
Yeah.
That is so cool, look at that. Why the orange tape?
We have that orange tape there so people don't lose them.
Oh, yeah.
And also so they know which end to hit you, because there's a lot of people, if you don't put tape it, they'll hit the pointy end.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to hit the pointy end.
Chisels,
okay,
yep.
And then we've got, I guess, your standard rock hammer.
Yep.
Okay, all right, we've got our tools. What's next?
Next thing is I would get your name tag.
You can just put history nerd. I think everybody knows that's going to be. All right, so we've got our name tag. Where do we put our name tag at?
I'll bring a shelf over for you. Put you down there.
Here, I'll get one in.
The history nerd shelf.
All right. We're going to fill it up.
Yeah, most customers in a few hours will fill up their shelf.
Really? You're
The
kidding.
fossil fish are pretty prolific here.
Okay.
Here's some examples of some fossil fish, just so you have an idea of kind of what you're looking for.
Okay, so this is like a sample table that shows all the different kind of things that it's
Yeah.
possible for you to find out here.
Like, for example, this is a Diplomistus. Nidia right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the most common
This
one.
is the most common one.
Yep.
What are these bigger ones back here?
That's a Prehistoric serrata,
okay.
and that's a Ferriotis. There's an even bigger one partially down there.
Oh, wow.
They got up to about 30 inches long.
Oh, that's a huge fish. That's crazy. So this area that we've got, so here's our shelf, and this is our pile right here.
Yeah, we have rows laid out so
Okay.
people can go around and pick out the rock that they think is their special rock.
Okay. Oh, that's
and
cool.
break it down.
So I like how you've got it set up. So, you know, there can be multiple families here at the same time. You've got these great rows where there's somebody down there who's working on a row. And so you just start at one end and just work your way down for as long as you're here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just whatever rock you want, you can go around and
Well, let's put this one up on the shelf. So walk me through the techniques. How do we split this rock open?
So the technique for splitting this rock
Okay.
is one, this rock has to dry for several days after we pull it out of the wall or it does not split very well.
So this rock is fresh from that wall back there.
Yeah, we pulled it out probably 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay.
So it's been out in the sun, out in the wind, drying to where it's gonna split well.
So this rock still has moisture in it when it's up in the wall?
Yeah, there is a lot of moisture in that rock.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so the lack of moisture helps it split easier, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So what's next?
So the next thing is with the rocks, to split them, you always want to start in the center. If you start over on the side, it tends to just flake off and you don't get a clean split. So
Okay.
we tell everyone to start in the center. You get a crack started here, and what you want to do is you don't want to drive your chisel all the way in. You would just want to follow that crack to be able to get the rock to.
So that way you get a nice even split.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Is that a fish scale?
yes, that looks like fish scale right there.
Okay. So what's neat, guys, is that every time you are splitting open a layer, you are splitting open basically a scene from this lake bottom that's this big, for example, because these layers, the lake bottom was like this, and sediment percolates and lays down like this. Over the millions of years, it gets uplifted. Then when you rip it out of the wall, you know, you lay it on each side to split these layers this way. So, all right.
So we'll take this one, we'll do the same thing. We'll go into
Okay.
the center, get a crack going. Just follow that crack. And we got another split there.
Oh, cool. So what do we have there? That's weird.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure. It might be a fish poop. but-
Oh, no, I think that's a little vertebrae. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, that does look like it.
That's cool. So that's a little fish vertebrae. Who knows, the fish could have gotten eaten. See, and that's what's crazy is so you are basically opening up and looking at a story from the past. This is literally a page out of history. With every time you split, it's a brand new story. So what the heck happened? We've got a fish vertebrae here. Why is there a fish vertebrae here? You know, that's what makes this so much fun, is because it throws up all these crazy cool questions that you get to ask and figure out. So, cool. All right.
Awesome. Let's do one more here. See if we can
Okay.
do that. Sometimes you gotta go around to multiple sides on the rock to get it.
So you just want to slowly take your time
Yeah.
and get a good even crack opening up.
Yep, this is a technique thing, not a brute force thing. And see, there's
Oh,
a
hey.
fish over on the side of the rock. This fish is almost totally buried under the rock, just the head's exposed. But you can see the backbone
vertebrae.
right there, and his
Yeah.
tail's gonna be right there.
Oh, wow. So is this something, let's say somebody finds this, can they take it home and expose the rest of this? Because it looks like if you
Yeah,
just,
it's fairly soft rock, so they can take it home and use air scribe or a little engraver, or you can even do it with an X-Acto knife. And just remove that rock very slowly, and there'll be a fish under there.
That's so cool. And look what else. Fish poop. Ah, that's so cool. Fish poop. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's sit here and let's, start going through some of this rock and see what we find. Does that
Okay.
work?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. All right, guys, so here's what we're gonna do. We're all gonna hang out. We've got the camera on a tripod. Our main man, Isaac, who's filming and editing this episode, is gonna hop in here with us. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna, this stuff takes time, so we're gonna run it on fast, and we're just gonna plow through this rock and see what we can find. Every time we find something, we'll bring it up and we'll show you. So hang in there. Hopefully in a minute, we'll be finding something awesome. It's not a fish, but it's some scales. So like we were talking about earlier, you've got that bottom of the lake, and just these are all these little fish scales that popped off. So it's just a little slice of life back there in the Eocene. Rock's a little heavy, but here we go. There's our first fish, a nice little Diplomitis. So we're gonna take this fish and we're gonna put it on the shelf right below the camera, and we'll chop it up here in a bit.
So here's a Nidia. It's the most common fish out here, as both sides of it split off. Fortunately, it's right at the edge of the rock, so we're missing the side of him, but still a very detailed fossil fish.
This is fish poop. So literally everything that's within the environment, when it falls down to that layer, is gonna be in that layer. So from leaves to bugs to mammals to fish excrement, everything's gonna be on the bottom. Isaac did real good. He just got him a really neat piece of fish. If you look at it, the fish is still underneath one more little layer, but it should prep out really nice. It looks like it's all there. So good find, Isaac. Sometimes you'll get stuff like this where the fish will just explode up on you, but that's okay. You can't save every fish. So we'll just keep plowing through the rock and see what else we can find.
There's a half of a larger fish.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, it swam to the edge of the rock, but that's a larger fish right there. Looks like a myoplosis.
Messed up and it exploded this one, but there's one right on the edge. Another nice fish. So you can see we're just plowing through this rock, and it's just fish after fish after fish. I mean, you are 100%. This is probably the only place where you can go where you're 100% guaranteed to find an American fossil. It's right here. That's awesome.
Here's a fish right here. It's just the head exposed. The rest of it's running under the rock, so this rock could be removed at home to expose the remainder of the fish. So here's a nice fish right here. You just see part of it exposed, but the rest of it's buried under the rock. Tail's probably gonna be about there, so it's about a 5 to 6 inch fish.
Now, what's something like that worth retail? So you have to totally prep it out, get it ready in a rock and mineral shop. What would that fish be worth?
In a rock and mineral shop, totally prepped. I'm trying to think, see which species that is. It's big Nidia. That's a big one, so it's probably $50.
No, $50? You're kidding.
Make your money back.
So yeah, you could actually come out here and make your money back, and even make a profit.
Yeah,
here.
I would say pretty much everyone who comes, if they prepped and sold their finds, they'd make money.
That's such a cool thing that you can do. I mean, it's like gold mining. That's so cool.
There's always a chance they could pop out a bird with, $20,000-$30,000, and yeah.
So what's some of the rare stuff that people can find here?
Everyone wants to find stingrays.
Okay.
That's what everybody wants to find.
Wait a minute, you've got stingrays in this quarry
There's
too?
freshwater stingrays here.
What? That's so cool. So what do those bring?
A decent one can be anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000.
That's insane.
I think we've had about 4 of them found so far this season.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, got a small little fish right there. But what's neat is I've got the positive and the negative, so I've got both of them on each side. So there's another fish to the count. We'll put it on our table. There's a cute little fish right there. So just another cute little fishy. That's cool. We'll add that to the pile. So sometimes you'll get fish that are exploded. So there's one that's just all totally exploded. You could see where all the scales and everything have whittled down where, you know, it laid on the bottom for a little bit. So another neat fish we'll add to the pile. Man, this is a great split. Look at what Matt just pulled out. So right there and right here. So what's neat about this is so there's just one fish, but we have 2 plates. So people get positive and negatives of things? People,
Yes.
Yeah, people get positive and
Yeah,
negatives of things?
most of the splits will be where you'll have a fish on both sides. Sometimes they'll split and the fish will be partially buried or totally buried under the rock.
Yeah, but that's cool. So you
Yeah.
get 2 for 1.
Yes.
That's awesome. Nice. All right. Sometimes all you get is just the tail, but still, that's a heck of a tail. Is that not awesome? Ah.
Oh, yes.
Hey, nice. Isaac, that's awesome, dude. So Isaac just found a killer fish. Matt, what species do we have?
So this is a Diplomistus.
Okay.
It's the second most common species in here, but it's
That's a
pretty nice one right there.
That's a
Really great detail.
fish. So, all right.
Off the rock.
Yeah, he was wanting to swim off the rock. It's kind of addicting, isn't it? Because you keep splitting, and you don't want to stop splitting. You just want to keep going and going and going.
Yeah, it is addicting.
Okay, so now we've split through a bunch. What do we do with what we found here?
So we have tile saws where we can cut this stuff down to whatever size you want. You know, we can cut it, you can cut it, whatever you're comfortable with.
But look at all these fish we found in such a short amount of time. That's crazy. Let's go over what all we found. So what do we have here?
So that is a Diplomistus,
Okay.
you know, about 5-6 inches long.
And so something like this, what you can do is you can just cut it out with the rock saw
Yeah, you can cut it into a small piece if you want, or
Okay.
you can leave it
in the rock as you
as
want.
you found it.
And then this is kind of cool. This is a twofer.
Yeah, you have a Nidia there, and you have a Diplomistus right there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
So we've got 2 species going on side by side.
Yes.
That's epic. And then, so this is really cool down here. This is just one fish, but it looks like 2. So what do we have going on here?
So you have a Diplomistus that it basically split in half. So
Okay.
you're seeing half the fish on one side, half the fish on the other. On this one, you know, part of his head is still buried by rock under there.
But that's just so cool. Look at the
Yeah.
detail of these fish. You can see each and every individual bone. You can see the fins, the head. I mean, that's just, look, you can really see the head down there. I mean, the detail of these specimens are just, it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And what's cool is so it's technically one fish, but you have 2 fossils now.
Yes,
That's
correct.
awesome. I really don't know much else where you can do that. So, and then I'm proud of this one. This is my little, oh! And then here's, I'm proud of this. No! Foul! God dang it. Chase. All right, so what do we got next? So when we get these out like this, what do we do?
Okay, so what we have is we have carts for bringing your finds over to
Okay.
the rock saw where we can saw it down.
Let's go grab
So
a cart.
Let's grab a cart.
I can't believe I broke my fish. Ah! And are these carts that you guys specially designed just for?
Yeah, they're wheelbarrows, and we took the bucket off there and did some modifications.
That's so cool.
So what we want to do is when we're taking these things over the saw, we want to stack them vertically. Same thing if you're transporting these things in your car, is you want them stacked vertically instead of horizontally.
That's a really good point, because if you stacked them horizontally, the bouncing of your car will break this rock. But if you stand it up like this when you transport it, it won't break as easily. You can just chuck my broken fish to the side.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be the mule. You tell me which way to go. All right, where are we going?
So we're going over here to the tile saws. These are our saws here. They're we've got a solar trailer here, so everything out here is run off of solar.
Oh, that's awesome. So everything that you guys do out here, all of your electricity is solar powered.
Yes.
That is so cool. I've never seen a solar trailer before. That's an epic setup, man.
So yeah, it's got enough batteries in there. If there was no sun for 3 days, we could still run everything.
Really?
And then there's a backup generator. If all of that failed, that will kick on.
So you're not putting no footprint on the environment really with running electricity or anything like that.
Not with running electricity.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so Matt, now we've wheeled everything over. What's our next step?
So our next step is we have tile saws here that people can use to trim stuff down to size.
Okay.
It's part of the service we offer is we'll cut stuff for you. We have a lot of people prefer to cut their own fish. So we just are here to kind of check out, make sure they know how to use the saw. They're not putting their thumb right there where they're gonna cut their thumb off. So yeah.
Yeah, so let's cut these two. Now, how would you go about knowing where to cut? So if we wanted to make it as tight as we could, or, close to as tight as we could.
So it's up to the customer how they want to cut this. If they want it on a big piece or a small piece. If you're flying on a plane, you probably want smaller pieces.
Okay, let's go with the smaller piece.
So we'll put it here. The blade's going to run here. It also has a laser line. I'll show you where it's going to run.
Okay. That is awesome, dude. Look at that. That is killer. I mean, what's so cool about this is this was literally lost to time until about 30 minutes ago. No human being had ever seen this fish until 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And now it's prepped and ready, and oh, that's so awesome, dude. What a great experience that people can have to come out here to literally discover history. You're the first well, you guys are like the fourth and the fifth human being, but I mean, that's the first people to ever see this fossil. That's just such a cool rush. I can't really think of anything else that you could do to have that. So what's our next step? Are we good to go, or is there anything else we're going to do to it?
You're good to go here.
Nice.
You can take that home like it is. A lot of people, you can seal these fish so that they'll stay better preserved using a Elmer's glue and water mixture. We have it sold pre-mixed, or it's just 10% Elmer's glue.
And just by dipping the fish in,
you either dip it or you paint on all sides of the rock and let it dry.
So if we want to take this home and make sure it doesn't get disturbed, what's a good way to transport this?
When you transport things in your car, these little plates are easy. They're not going to break very easy, but the bigger ones you definitely want to have laying up vertically. If they're laying down, the bumps on the road can cause them to shatter, but if they're up, they're much more likely to survive the trip.
Makes sense. So now we've gone fishing in Wyoming. This is awesome, dude. So these aren't the only layers that you have here. You guys have what's called mass mortality layers, correct?
Yeah, there's a couple of very specific layers in the quarry which are mass mortality. It was basically a fish kill. It might have been caused by an algal bloom like currently happens nowadays.
Yeah.
Or it could have been volcanic eruption or something.
So it's something that completely killed all life in the lake.
Yes.
That's crazy. And you pretty much know where those layers are within the
formation? We know where a few of them are. Some of them will extend all the way across the quarry. Others, you'll have a mass mortality that'll just be a section of the quarry.
So it's a layer of rock that you split. There's going to be a ton of fish.
Yes.
That you know. Mm-hmm. That's pretty confident. Can we go see it?
Yeah.
So Matt, how do you know exactly where this mass mortality layer is? I mean, because there's a ton of layers in the wall. How do you know which one is which?
So this is what we call a mud layer. And you can actually, it's very distinctive seeing on the side of the rock.
So this brown that's going right through?
Yeah, thin orange layer. And then we have it measured, from other layers so we can find it pretty easily in the wall.
Okay, so you guys know right where this is on the wall. You keep it measured, so...
Yeah, we know where it is. When we're pulling rock from the wall and laying it out, it kind of gets mixed in there, so you always have a chance of hitting this mud layer.
I want you guys to see. Look down here. This is solid. See the layer? This is solid layer. So let's see what this looks like.
Yep, we want to go very carefully. This has been sitting out drying for 2 or 3 days, so it should split well. But we shall see. Just want to go very carefully with this. Do you have it?
Yep, I got you.
And then split around these sides. We'll get on the roll of this rock so we can get the other side too.
Okay.
Oh, actually it may be free right now.
Yep.
So we can do the big reveal and hopefully there's a
ton of fish.
Is it loose there?
Maybe just a little more prying.
Yeah, we don't want to pry that, but I'll get the...
Okay.
Try to get where it's stuck. Okay, I'm gonna roll this.
Okay.
Okay, lay it down. It's stuck right here.
Okay. Oh.
Snap in half. Okay. Unfortunately, it broke there, but we'll...
there. All right, ready? Oh. Oh, whoa! What? Holy cow, look at all these fish. That is awesome. So you got fish, 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 fish. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
What the heck? Dude, look. Oh, that's so cool. Look at these two. Died side by side. That is so awesome. So basically everything that was swimming in the lake died and fell down to the bottom of the lake, correct?
Yeah, it could have been caused by some sort of a volcanic event that killed stuff in the lake. Well, it's a mud layer, so it's probably something that deposited a lot of soft sediment all at once.
Yeah. That's epic. Holy cow, dude. That is so neat. What's really cool is this tells the entire history of a lake that existed for millions of years. All the, the normal stuff where fish lives its normal life and dies and goes down, to the very violent climactic things that happen where you have mass kill-offs from volcanoes or algae or whatever, and the entire lake dies and has to rebound. The entire story of the Eocene period is within these layers. And it's just so epic that you guys are every day exposing it and furthering our knowledge and understanding and allowing the public to come out and be a part of this. That's just epic, man. That's too cool. Check this out, guys. We were just walking by and we heard some hooping and hollering and somebody was all excited. Miss Sandra Robertson found an epic fish. What did you find?
A Ferriotus.
Look at this fish, guys.
It brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah, she got a little emotional, as one would, finding an epic, awesome fish. But look at this preservation. Now, where are you from?
I'm from New Palestine, Indiana. It's close to Indianapolis.
That's awesome. How did you hear about this, that you could go do this?
I've been fossil digging for over 20 years, and this was on my bucket list. My good friend Debbie Bayless and I do a lot of fossil digging together.
Yeah.
And we would read about it, but it was always too far west. We've done the dinosaur digs and things.
Oh,
and
cool.
I did find a perfect T-Rex tooth.
That's awesome.
Brought tears to my eyes.
I would say. So you've never been fossil fishing before?
Not fossil fishing, no. This is my first.
Talk about an awesome
fossil
first
gods
time.
were here. I
Right.
can't believe it's beautiful.
That is a gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Look at this. And remember, guys, this is where we say, you get 2 fish for 1 if it splits right. And just look at the detail within the fish. I mean, you can see all the individual rib sections, the tail. This is
the scale on
great.
that
The
right
scales, everything. such an awesome find. I mean, that's pretty awesome for you. You don't go to the casino, do you?
No, I don't. No,
say,
this
you
is
ought to
my.
start. This is
This is it.
pretty
Yes.
good. That's
Yes.
awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your find with us.
Thank you.
And congratulations. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
It is. It is. Yes, one here
Yeah,
and
there's
another
one
one
here.
there.
See, that's what we're saying, guys, is, I mean, you 100%, when you come out to here, this is the only thing where you're 100% guaranteed. You're not only going to find something, you're going to find something awesome, and you're going to find something that no human being has ever seen. No human being has ever seen this until you just
Right
saw
now.
it.
I
You were
brought
the
it to
first
life.
human being to ever see that.
Oh, I know.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you and good
Oh,
luck.
thank you very much.
Here's a big thing, guys, is that anybody of any age can come out here and do this. You don't have to be an adult to do this. Miss Sherry here has been prepping fossils for a couple of years now, and she's going to show us some of the techniques on how to clip out fossils.
So most people hit like this, but you have a better chance of hitting your finger, so you should hit on the side with the hammer so you don't hit your finger as much.
Well, will you take us out to some rock and show us how to do it?
Yeah. Sometimes it will flake off, but you try to stay in the middle as much as possible.
Okay.
So even if it splits in a different spot, like the side, you still want to stay middle, and there it flaked off, and this stuff is just minerals.
Okay, so you get some mineral deposits. So this stuff that we're seeing here are mineral deposits?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Let's see if there's a fish in here.
Yeah, I want to see a fish come out.
And we tried to split down to a 1/2 inch because last year a bird was found.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, it's true. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
This one should be good.
Okay, let's do this one.
It looks way easier. And after you're done, you can saw your fish out. We have saws over there. This saw is for stuff that's too big.
Hey, there we go. That's a good split.
Yeah. My dad actually works here too. He's just on days off today.
Well, you got to have a day off.
Yeah. It's really fun.
Now, what's your favorite fossil that you've ever found?
A gartooth.
You found a gartooth? You're kidding.
Yeah. It was really cool. And last year my dad actually found a mammal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. We think it was like a prairie dog type of Hyopsodus.
No, but it seems like it's going. So you're just going down a little bit all the way around the rock so you get a good even split, right?
Yeah, and also so you don't mess your fish up as bad
Oh, that's a really good reason.
when the crack forms.
Yep.
And also you can stick your tongue to a fossil if you want to know if it's a fossil. My mom taught me that.
I've heard that. That's a good way to tell if it's a fossil. Now this is about to split right open. Let's see what we got. No fish, but that was a great split. So you would just do that to the rocks over and over and over again, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
this looks like fish poop.
Oh, that's cool. All right, well, let's do this. Show us how you would get this fish poop out. Will you show us how to clip it?
So you would either use the saw, but you have to be 18, so I do this. Until it completely cracks open.
There we go. That's great.
Yeah.
So you see, guys, anybody of any age can come out here and do this and to discover this history. You don't have to be an adult. I mean, there's a lot of great adults that like to come out here, but man, kids are who love to come out here and do this. Miss Sherry, thank you so much for showing us how to do this. We appreciate it. We wish you good luck this year. Hope you find a bunch of awesome stuff.
Thank you, guys.
Matt, this is such an awesome thing that you've got going on. I mean, this is incredible. And what's even cooler is that the public can come out and do this and do it in a safe way where they can come out and discover their own history. We need more places like this,
Yes,
dude.
we do. There's not many places in the world where the public can come out and find their own fossils, and we help them find that and, you know, show them what they need to do.
And they get to take them home.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So tell our audience out there, if they want to come out here to do this, how can they get a hold of you?
So go to fossilsafari.com.
Go to fossilsafari.com. We will have all the information. We'll include a link in the description below, and see if we can't put a link here, or maybe here, or maybe here. We'll put a link, and you guys can definitely go check it out. What does it cost for people to come out and do this?
They can either do 2 hours, 4 hours, or a full day. For adults, a full day is about $159. For kids, it's about half that price.
That's incredible. That's affordable, and you get to keep everything?
Yeah, pretty much everything. The only restriction is if they found something worth over $100,000, because our lease requires us to sell that.
So explain that real quick, because I want to make sure people understand that. So you've got a rancher that basically owns the property, correct?
Yeah, this is a ranch. This quarry's been leased from the ranch for over 40 years.
Oh, wow.
We just took it over this year.
Okay.
So we're operating it.
And so anything of that real high dollar value, the rancher gets a cut of it, basically.
Yeah, the rancher gets a cut of it.
And that keeps everybody happy. You know, a lot of these fossil operations that go on, you know, they're on private ranches. And sometimes the only way that these ranches still exist is because, you know, of the fossils that they find there. It's really important not only for you know, the local ranchers, but for science and for you, the general public out there, that you can come and get involved in this. I mean, just imagine, you can come out and discover a fossil that no human being has ever seen. You will be the very first human being to ever see this fossil, and that is epic, and you can take it home. Dude, this is a cool setup, man. Matt, thank you so much for having us out.
Thank you for coming out.
We appreciate it, guys, and remember, history rocks. Woo! So this is what happens when you stay out here too long. This is Cornelius. Cornelius is the guy that founded this quarry. He's got his fishing pole in his net, and Cornelius, he didn't make it. He stayed out there and fished way too long. So when you come in, you got to say hi to Cornelius. Hey, Cornelius. Does this look goofy? So we're at Fossil Butte National Monument, heading to the bathroom. This is something you wouldn't expect in a normal bathroom. Oh man, it does stink in here. But look, it's a wall of poop in the bathroom. How about them apples? That is the coolest thing I have ever seen in a museum. That's awesome. Look at all the poop. Look, big poop. Big poop. That is the poop to the poop. Look at this poop. All kinds of poop. Look, whipped cream pooped, grape poop, the sausage poop, ice cream poop. Oh my God, this is freaking hilarious. This is perhaps the funniest thing I've ever seen in a museum next to the bathroom. All kinds of poop. Yeah, science, that's awesome.